the truth about tithes. And I'm shocked. I don't even want to tell y'all no opinions or nothing. I'm going to just get into reading it. We could read it together. This is Deuteronomy 14:22. The giving of tithes. You must set aside a tithe of your crops, 1/10 of all the crops you harvest each year. Bring this tithe to the designated place of worship, the place the Lord your God chooses for his name to be honored, and eat it there in his presence. This applies to the tithes of grain, new wine, olive oil, and the firstborn males of your flocks and herds. Doing this will teach you to always fear the Lord your God. Now, when the Lord your God blesses you with a good harvest, the place of worship he chooses for his name to be honored might be too far for you to bring the tithe. If so, you may sell the tithe portion of your crops and herds, put the money in the pouch, and go to the place where the Lord your God has chosen. When you arrive, you must use the money to buy any kind of food you want: cattle, sheep, goats, wine, or other alcoholic drink. Then feast there in the presence of the Lord your God and celebrate with your household. And do not neglect the Levites in your town, for they will receive no allotment of land among you. At the end of every third year, bring the entire tithe of that year's harvest and store it in the nearest town. Give to the Levites, who will receive no allotment of land among you, as well as to the foreigners living among you, the orphans and the widows in your town, so they can eat and be satisfied. Then the Lord your God will bless you in all your work. Y'all, the tithes, the 10% that they set aside, did not go to the Levites. They ate it. They ate it in the presence of the Lord. It literally says you must set aside a tithe of your crops, 1/10 of all the crops you harvest each year. Bring this tithe to the designated place of worship, the place the Lord your God chooses for his name to be honored, and eat it there in his presence. Doing this will teach you to always fear the Lord your God. The tithes were set up for the people to eat. So yes, they gave a 10th, but it was to come and eat in the Lord's presence. It was to basically hang out and feast and celebrate with God. It was to remind them, hey, this is God. Like, come see me, come hang out with me. The way that they took care of the Levites, and not just the Levites, this was for the foreigners, the orphans, the widows, and the Levites, was at the end of every third year, bring the entire tithe of that year's harvest and store it in the nearest town. So the Levites didn't survive off the annual tithes. They survived off the tithes of every 3 years, and this was split between the Levites, the foreigners, the orphans, and the widows. So is it just me, or everything I was taught in church about tithing is wrong? Because this is not what I was taught in church. What I was taught in church was you got to bring 1/10, and you give it to the church because that's giving to God. Like, and this is how it's supposed to be. But that's not what this Bible says. This is why we got to get up in the Bible for ourselves. This is why it's so important not to take other people's word for what God said. Have the relationship for yourself. Read the Bible for yourself. Go to the Holy Spirit for guidance for yourself. As always, this is something that God revealed to me in my time in the Bible today. God bless. Y'all, I just found out the truth about tithes. And I'm shocked. I don't even